There we go. Hello, hello, everyone. I'm so excited to see you here today. Um, I'm just waiting for our guest to join. Hopefully she'll be here shortly. But in the meantime, I'm so excited to see everyone on this cafecito. It's already April. Can you believe it? I can't believe that Q1 is almost done. We just had our incredible summit for Women's Month. Women's Month is also done. We've been highlighting so many incredible United Latinas during the month. We launched our book. We had the summit. It's just been an outstanding month, which I hope most of you have seen or have participated in all of the places. Okay, let me see. I cannot see you, Maritza, anywhere. I Hold on. These are the little tech things. Um, I cannot see where to join. Do. Let me send you. Okay, sorry guys. These are the tech things. I'm texting it again. Let me see if that's a possibility. Okay, sorry. Anyways, we're so excited. We have a lot of new events coming up. We're also about to launch our speakers club. Um, Try Instagram. I cannot add you in. I'm trying to help our guest here to join. Okay, so we have a lot of surprises coming up. We're about to launch our speakers club. So if you are a speaker and want to be a part of this campaign, please email us at hello@unitedlatinas.com. Become a member. A premium members will be a part of the speakers club, and we'll be promoting all of our speakers starting in a couple of weeks and all the way through Hispanic Heritage Month, because we know that speakers don't get enough visibility out there. So we are going to be promoting all speakers, all Latina speakers, so that people can know that you're there, know what you're doing. So join us on that sense. Here we are. Hey.
Hola.
Ah!
I was here in LinkedIn and it was saying I'm in. I'm like, no, I'm not in. Hi,
Hi. I'm so
everyone.
excited that you're here. Let me
Oh,
finish with the Speakers Club
please,
intro, and then we'll jump right in. Thank you for
please,
joining.
sorry to interrupt.
No, by all means. So we're having our Speakers Club launch. I know that Maritza is also a part of that. If you're not a speaker and you want to become a speaker, also join the Speakers Club by becoming a member of United Latinas, because we will be having great speaking coaches like Maritza that are going to help us train you to become a fabulous speaker. So a lot of really good surprises are coming up. So become a member, join now, and there's more to come that I will update at the end of today. But Maritza, so excited to have you here to talk
Hi.
about leadership presence, which is so important, right?
Yeah, super important. I'm so thankful to you, Noemi, to United Latinas. And I hope that a lot of you are joining. And if you're not joining live, that you will listen and you will share this, because Ilhiana and I have a heart to heart connection on many levels. And the truth is that the work that I do comes from a super open heart. And that's what I wish for everyone that's listening. So, leadership presence is more than skin deep. It is much more than a personality trait. It is a way of being, and it begins with your mindset and an awareness of your behaviors and your influence on yourself first and then on others. So I'm really excited about tomorrow night. I've prepared some goodies for you, and I'm not going to tell, even though I'm a chatty Cathy, because I want them to be surprises. I want you to come and be surprised, delighted, and somehow changed by the experience.
Thank you. And I am like, I have been waiting for this workshop, like for this webinar so much, because I know you and I know that you bring a wealth of knowledge to the subject. But for our audience, because I'm starting to see a lot of our members show up. What is leadership presence? Why is it becoming so important? I've started to see a lot of people starting to talk about it a little bit more. So what in essence, what is it?
I love that you said in essence, what is it? Because it has to do with our essence. I think one of the things that's most important is to clearly define things, particularly in personal and professional development. Many words become buzzwords and they lose the depth, the profundity of their meaning. Because leadership presence, it isn't something on the outside. It really is an inside job. Yes, your skills, your education, your credentials will come into play, but nobody cares. I hate saying that, but it's true. Nobody cares until they know you care and until you have gained a semblance, right? A little bit of authority and credibility. So how do we do that, right? Well, first of all, what is it? It is a feeling. It is connected to another buzzword right now, which is knowing your personal brand. Because in today's world of global connection 24/7, whether you know it or not, you have a personal brand. Your brand is not your logo, although very important and lovely to create with a good designer like United Latinas did, like I've done. It is not your logo. It is not your colors. It is not necessarily your content or your really like catchy tagline. Your personal brand connected deeply to your leadership presence is what people remember, how they are affected by your presence, right? And what they say, what they associate with you when you're not in the room. Now, this is not just opinion, right? This is based on how you inspire, how you empower, how you influence yourself and others. It's not about, well, so and so thinks I'm a this or that. No. It's about when someone is speaking about you as a professional, right? As a career person, as an entrepreneur, as a speaker, what are the adjectives they are going to use? How did you make them feel? Number one, were you memorable? Right? Influence is about remembering. So leadership presence is so key. It's so crucial. And really, you all already have it. This is the thing. One of the things I help my clients to know and believe, right, which is Ilhiana's work, is that you hold the power of change, of transformation, of self, of your team, of your children, of your home, of your others. You hold within you all the divine power to change what you like. And this is not about privilege. You know, I'm a girl from Washington Heights, Dominican immigrant parents, blue collar. My dad would drive us around in a yellow cab because that was one of his 3 jobs before he could buy a car. So I'm not talking about privilege. I'm talking about creating a life and a career that aligns with your heart's desires, which for most of you, because I know us as the Latinx people, I know us as mujer a mujer, for most of us, our desire is a desire for the good of others as well. And when you align yourself and say, this is what I want to create, this is what I want to achieve and why I want to achieve it, you become unstoppable. So leadership presence begins within and permeates through the pores and cells of your body to be a positive contagion, right? We're in an age of pandemics and people are afraid of what's contagious. What if your joy and your well-being and your inspiration and your knowledge are what is contagious? But that begins with us. We hold that power.
I love a lot of the things that you say. And hi, Hadassah. Hi, Maxine. Hi, Erica. Thank you for being here and joining us. And you talk about, part of this leadership presence, it's something that we have, whether we've intentionally built it, whether we know about it, or whether we're aware about it or not. But we all have it the way it's tied to our personal brand. And I think it's very important that we become intentional about how we show up, right? Because you're absolutely right. Are we memorable, or are we just like in a room and nobody really noticed that we were there because we've been talking a lot about these past couple of weeks and even in the summit about the calladita te ves más bonita, right? Because we continue with that mindset, or many of us continue with that mindset of I sit on the back, I'm just going to be hush hush, I'm not going to rock the boat, I'm just going to do my work, and my work should speak for me. And however, we're not as intentional about showing up, right?
Yeah, but I want to say something opposite to that. May I have your permission to play the devil's advocate a little bit? So we know about calladita se ve más bonita, but we also know loud and proud. Here I am. This is the way we do things, right? So what is that about? Intentionality is about what I call higher consciousness, what many call awareness, right? Tomorrow night, you're in the right place with us if you want to understand yourself and others better so that you can lead, starting with you and then a team, or starting with the team right now and yourself. You can lead to common goals. You could be like, this is what we aspire to, and sí se puede, juntas se puede, right? So intentionality is super important, but it is about knowing thyself. Know thyself is not so easy, right? I will share tomorrow a TEDx talk, not just mine, Empowered, which I hope you all watch. You could find it under my name and Empowered, but Tara, I think her name is Tasha Urick. And hers is deep research that was done. And she shared in her book and in her TEDx talk about 95% of us want to say, yeah, I'm self-aware. And only 5% of us are there, based on a lot of scientific research. So the truth of the matter is, whether I'm loud and proud and I'm the loudest, prettiest, most vibrantly dressed in the room, or I'm calladita más bonita, either way, how is that serving us? So one of the first things you will do tomorrow is uncover something that only you possess. Ilhiana doesn't have mine. I don't have hers. Those of you, Maxine, in the room, other people in the room now, those that are listening on the replay, you have something that no one else has. How brilliant is that? That every one of us was made in the image of God, universe, source, whatever your belief system is, Jesus, whomever, or whatever, that divine essence. You use the word essence. Your true essence is within you, and it matches no one else's. It's like DNA, right? So we're going to uncover something where you will not only know this and claim it and name it tomorrow night, but you will also be saying, wow, I've got to be highly self-aware of how I show up for myself, how I show up for others, and be willing to open my mind, my heart, my spirit to maybe thinking differently, believing differently, acting differently. You're not changing your essence. It's impossible. In fact, you will come closer to your true essence when you start to excavate what's inside. And then on the outside, sure, it takes your communication skills, right? So we're also going to be, if you want to communicate more effectively, if you want to carry on an unscripted conversation like Ilhiana and I are doing, or even better, it takes practice, right? You need to know your material. You need to be a constant student of your life. So I say there's mindset, numero uno. Then there's mastery. How much time, energy, clear, uninterrupted focus am I putting on being a master of my expertise, right? So communication is one of those where we're all pretty darn good, right? Nos gusta, picotera, outgoing. And what if we're super introverted? Does that make us less of a leader? Does that make it impossible for us to have leadership presence? Absolutely not. There is so much power in deep thought, in pauses, in soft-spoken people, in silence, right? So communication is another one. Now, do you want to show up authentically confident, right? Another buzzword. What does it mean to be authentic? It's about that true essence. It's claiming your true innate power that you have lost maybe through time, or that is covered up with false confidence or with accomplishments or with busy, 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 right? So you're going to uncover this authentic confidence that is really unshakable in the sense that it is your grounded and centered foundation. It doesn't change whether I'm having a good hair day or a bad day. I am who I am, right? And then you're going to upgrade your leadership presence in 3 areas. And I'm not going to divulge those either, but it really is a step by step. Like I do this, I do this, I do this, and I do it with commitment and a new commitment to myself and others, and with consistency. And then time passes, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and you're like, wow, everything is changing for the better. My team is more productive. I don't feel self-doubt, insecure, overwhelmed anymore, right? And then becomes a practice. It's a practice that feels maybe a little awkward at first and gets better over time. So that is my response to, am I in the right place? If I come to this tomorrow, why am I even listening now? And a little background, last thing I'll say on this in one sentence is almost 10 years ago, my life, which was already a decent life, and I had done a lot of healing, and some of you have heard some of my story, and a lot of self and professional development. But about 7 years ago, it was a major transformation. And the way I think about it is death, destruction to rebirth. It is shedding our skin. And I'll tell a story about that tomorrow, right? Shedding our skin for new, who doesn't want an exfoliant, right? For a new glow, and think about what that does for other people that are around you in the glow of that light. So I'm so excited. You can tell.
I, I'm excited, and I just put because I'm just seeing new people coming in. For those of you that haven't already signed up, Maritza is going to talk about leadership presence. Is going to share all of the wealth of knowledge, the 3 steps that she's mentioning tomorrow at a workshop at 5:30, if I remember correctly. But you can
Is that,
sign up 5:30,
is that
6
Eastern
p.m.
time?
Eastern.
Yeah, Eastern time, right?
Eastern
5:30.
time. Exactly. But you can register at unitedlatinas.com/events. You'll find her there. So don't forget to sign up. If you're a member, you should have already received the link to join tomorrow. But if not, remember to register. Now, one thing that comes up very important. We know, many of us know that leadership presence is important. We know that it's something that we need to work on. We know that we need to put the time, and still we don't. And still we put it to the side. We prioritize something else for whatever the reason, right? And why do we need to prioritize this now? Why do we need to spend tomorrow afternoon or evening, for 90 minutes to understand what it is and work on it every day and not put it aside?
Yeah, that's such a great question. I'm going to pause for a moment. Why now? Why do we prioritize leadership presence? Why do we take the time, the energy, the focus? And they say time is money. So even the money, right? To focus on this. And I'm going to say this to you. Reflect for a moment, if you would, with me, on the state of things in our businesses, in our companies and corporations, in our communities, right? Expand that to in our state of the United States, in our country, if we're in Latin America or somewhere else, right? South America, wherever you might be. Expand that to the state of things in the world. And if you let that penetrate you, it can, I don't know about you, but for me, it causes me tears and to fall to my knees. And it causes me to realize that I said this in the first book, Extraordinary Latinas. Read them both, right? And if you haven't read the first one yet, never mind my story, the story of my colegas, of the other co-authors, and Ilhiana, and along with Dolores Hirschman, right? Is that the proper person in publishing, right? Did a phenomenal job and a lot of devoted work. I think Ilhiana is such a beautiful model for us all, because why now? Because what if all you have is now, is my first question. And I know people think I'm morbid. One of my favorite songs when I taught group fitness and when I exercise myself, you should look it up. I don't know if this is the title or just in the lyrics, but you'll find it. Live like you're dying. Two incredible health and fitness professionals and speakers transitioned from their bodies last month. And I was notified, like many of us are nowadays, if we're not in the inner circle of these people, even though we care about them, by Facebook. One was my peer, maybe my elder by a few years, and just didn't wake up in the morning. The other was a 45-year-old mother of two young children, 10 and under, who also was a worldwide fitness professional and had a massive cardiac arrest that she did not know that she had a heart condition. Right? So it's not morbid, it's reality. We don't live with that reality front of mind in the present. We want to enjoy the moment, but we do have to know as mature and impactful women that we're not promised tomorrow. So that's one reason now. The other reason now is there is someone, literally an individual. Think of it like an avatar. There is an ideal person waiting to hear or sense or feel or be led in something by only you. Not by me, not by Ilhiana, right? They're waiting. It's a spiritual, I believe, connection. It gives me chill bumps, so I know how truthfully I believe it. They're waiting for you. If you can make a difference in the life of a child, they used to say, I say of one human being, I feel you can transition from your body in peace and say, on this earth, I did something worthwhile, right? I've dedicated my life to that, from children in ballet all the way to now to executive leaders, right? I've dedicated in some shape or form my life to this idea that I picked up in the 4th grade. If you can make a difference in the life of one, then you have fulfilled your purpose here. That kind of lets you off the hook in a way, right? So that's another reason why now. And the biggest reason, and you're going to be surprised, is yourself. The biggest reason is, don't you really owe it to yourself to not live by default, but to live by choice? The impossible is possible. I am loaded with stories as a speaker and coach, right? In 2020, my husband and I had our best, most impactful, and best income years. How could that happen during a pandemic? And we were able to do things that we were only dreaming of between 20 and 23, right? We started 2 other businesses. He's about to retire from operations and general management in the auto industry to do only our auto business. I'm thriving in the work I'm doing. Who would have thought that this would have happened 2020, right? But 2020, I was given a blessing and an opportunity to speak to others about navigating uncertainty and crisis. And I was also very fortunate to stay healthy and have those around me. And there was so much loss. And I have a deep understanding of grief, right? And a deep understanding for you is now. No mañana, no más tarde, otro día. Because if you are constantly fighting, struggling, wrestling yourself, you want different results, but you keep doing the same things, it's no good. And even if you're celebrating, even if you're like, Maritza, gracias, but yo estoy bien, todo bien, no pasa nada, right? Everything is cool. Even then, there's more to grow. We're like the plants in the garden, right? Do you want to stop at a bud or do you want to go full bloom? So I know that's a long answer, but those are 3 good reasons, right? To really say now's the time. And leadership presence matters. It matters to me, it matters to others, and tomorrow's not promised.
I love that, and there's a lot of kudos on the chat, and you're right. I think we tend to push things because today we just focus on the task at hand, and we don't realize the importance of the impact that we can create on ourselves, that we can create on others, that we can create on the world, and we're just expecting that that's something that we can do tomorrow. And you're right, tomorrow is no granted. We need to do that today. What can I say? I'm just like thrilled, excited, goosebumps. I can't believe our time is almost done for this cafecito.
I have a question. Can I ask a question? Please excuse the interruption. I want to ask you and those who have joined live, or if they're on the replay, they can put it in the comments later. But I have a question. Why does leadership presence matter to you, right? And what concerns or questions do you have for tomorrow? Bring them openly. United Latinas is a safe place, right, where we support, guide, and grow one another in community. So if you have a question or a concern, or you're saying, well, this is what leadership presence means to me, and this is what I'm wrestling with, right? That kind of vulnerability, I'm learning, has so much value for us and for the people we influence and work with. So you want to access your unbounded power and potential, not just the one you know about, like an iceberg, but the one that's under the water that you don't even know. Please, sisters, you don't even know what you're capable of, right? And it doesn't have to be doing more. It just is about being more of yourself. So yeah, please bring your questions,
Thank
concerns,
you.
drop them. Yeah.
I love that you're leaving us homework already. We're not even there, but thank you. That's actually a great question. And join us tomorrow. Remember, if you haven't signed up, sign up. This is a workshop that you won't want to miss. And we have a lot of other great surprises coming up. So subscribe to our newsletter, our Slack. If you need anything, reach us at hello@unitedlatinas.com. Maritza, thank you so much for being here today. And then tomorrow, in the now of tomorrow, we'll continue the conversation.
So much
Thank
fun.
you so much.
Thank you very, very much. And thank you to everyone who joined. I can't wait to see you tomorrow.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a good one, everybody.